All right. We are live. A little bit early. So people chance come in. I edited stuff out at the beginning anyway. We'll be all set. Share screen. And save. All right. No kind of audio because I'm not talking. Hey. 2 minutes. No kind of audio because I'm not talking. All right. Good morning, Skylar. Good morning, Charles. Welcome, everybody. This week, SEO this week, we're post Super Bowl. So if you guys are like me, stay up, watch the end of that game. It was actually pretty interesting. I liked how that game ended up in the end. I kind of expected, I thought the Chiefs were gonna win the whole time. Everyone said it was gonna be the 49ers. I expected either way that game was gonna be good, and it didn't let us down by any means. That wasn't like a high scoring knuckle buster like a lot of people would probably have hoped, but it was cool watching the defenses and everything come up with each other's plans and shut down any of the offenses and watching special teams, etc., etceteras. The commercials were if you're like me, you enjoy the commercials just as much as the game. We're actually pretty good. I like the I don't know if you've seen it, but Kennedy was his name, Robert Kennedy. There was an ad for him in there that actually was pretty interesting. Not in the content, but more of the format. So if you saw that ad, it was like 50s, maybe even 30s ad style, kind of bringing you back to the association of the Kennedy name back then when they were the big things in politics, etc. So that was pretty interesting to see that commercial. Another commercial that I liked was I don't know if you've seen that the there's the Jesus commercials that have been going on, and I don't know the group that's been putting those commercials on, but they're doing a really good job in telling a story, etc. And they did one where it had people washing each other's feet, and you really didn't. It's not like overtly religious, but it did tell you have a pretty good message. And then the Stop Jewish Hate organization, they also had one. To me, that one was kind of like on the nose, if you know what I mean. It was like they were they went so far out of their way to build an association between two different groups that it kind of was like, it wasn't as good of a message as I think that it could have been. Um, um, so that was, I mean, that one was all right. Brian Cato said the Kawasaki commercial. I must have missed that one. Um, the T-Mobile commercial with the Samoan guy, Jason Momoa. It was funny like the first time I seen it, but after that I was over it. um what else? Um what are the good commercials? Those are really the memorable ones that came out. Planet of the Apes movie looks dope. I've seen the trailers for that one already. And then the it's at the Wolverine and Blackpool. Yeah, Deadpool and the Wolverine. I expect that one to be like a good movie, but if you're like a Wolverine fan and you want to see a whole bunch of Wolverine, I doubt. I'm betting that they're gonna do some like half-ass cameo stuff inside of there and not have a full good story with it. So we'll see how that turns out. But I am not a movie critic. That's a lie. I talk shit about movies all the time. But we'll see how that goes. The remake of Twister. Yeah, I saw that, and I every time I see one of those stupid remakes, I'm thinking to myself, man, we should just let AI write all our movies because the current writers in Hollywood have zero fucking imagination. They're remaking Roadhouse, they're remaking Twister, etc. I mean, if you can't tell a good story now, then you probably shouldn't deserve $150,000 a year paycheck or whatever they are crying that they were barely meeting the minimum wage or of living writing Hollywood scripts. And honestly, if you can't tell a new and original story, then I'm pretty much done with movies. Will I watch Twister? Yes. Will I watch Roadhouse? Fuck no. I'm not watching that out of protest. But Twister I'll watch. Um, all right. So does the title of the show alluded to? I want to do a kind of a review of ContentSprout. I promised that I would do one video during the week, but I just got stupid busy and I'm trying to reinvent digital ears, and so priorities take priorities. But I did want to show you guys ContentSprout. I want to show you the output of that. And if we don't get very many questions today, then I'll just, I'll walk through creating a new article with it. I have to be judicious when I do the creating a new article, though. I know it's a big word for me, because, well, you'll see here in a second. So I got all signed in and everything, paid for it. I got the plan. Let me show you the exact plan, so you can see what I'm working with here, kind of relation for the credits and stuff. Pricing, I got the 197 plan, 240 credits a month. And if you read it down here, it says possible 30 articles, possible outlines, possible blah, blah, blah. Is because it's not, those aren't exact at all, as a matter of fact. But after you got signed, log in. This is what you're here to see. I didn't click don't remind me again because um, some of this stuff is actually good reminders if you don't come in here all the time anyway, but just so you, and plus so you guys can see it. And you get the 3 videos. I mean, these are interesting to me. However, I think the real good videos are all in the knowledge base, where more importantly, the good instructions on how to use everything are in the knowledge base. So I would rely on that. If you are going to check this out, I created one article. As you can see, it cost me 11 credits. I think that's the math. 11 credits for one article, 240 minus 229. 11, yes, 11 credits for one article. So what you do is you come in and you have to have projects. So you create a new project and then you can connect this so it'll publish to your website via the API. I think it's using the REST API. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. If you are like me and you have custom login URLs, that it won't work. And the recommendation in the documentation is to use a plugin that has been outdated for 3 years, and the actual function of that plugin is built into the core of WordPress. So if you value security way more than the luxury of being able to publish straight to your websites with one of these tools, then leave your security on. If you don't necessarily care, leave your security off. Frankly, because of how these articles publish, which is in the old version, they don't. When you use the REST API, it doesn't publish in the Gutenberg blocks. I got used to the blocks. I use them almost exclusively now. So you publish with this thing, and then it goes in. It's in the classic editor, and then I convert with blocks. If you remember the search atlas video, that's the same way. The problem with that is if as soon as you convert it to blocks, if you use search atlas, for example, you can edit your articles inside of search atlas. But once you convert it to blocks, and then you send it again to search atlas, it converts it back to the classic editor again. So all your stuff that you did with blocks is gone. So, it is what it is. I think they'll have to update the REST API. All right, so we created a new thing, and I wanted to kind of test this out significantly more than probably what most people are doing. I gave it an actual hard topic. So we did heroin addiction, signs, symptoms, and treatments. How it ranks, I don't know yet. I am legit going to put this on a website. I had it on the website already, and then the CMS timed out. So I messaged the developer. I was like, dude, I worked on this thing for like 5 minutes and it timed out and I lost all my work. So anyway, you can see, well, you're not going to be able to read it, but you can see the output. It's actually fairly decent. Going through this and understanding this topic and stuff is it's very good. It's not making stuff up, etc. I like that it comes in with the bullet points, etc. I like the tables. If you've seen Digital Ear and Search Atlas's content, they have tables and bullet points, etc. too, which I think is awesome. And because you can leave the tables, see how your pages are ranking for this topic, etc. Go in and optimize it, and then have it like a graphics person put these tables into little mini infographics. I'm using air quotes. You guys, I don't necessarily probably can't see me, but do some mini infographics with these tables and then remove the tables. Google also indexes these tables and shows them sometimes. So depending on the quality or lack of other information, your tables might necessarily show up as featured snippets too. I'm not a big old fan of featured snippets, so I wouldn't use them exclusively to get featured snippets, but the option is there. I like that the bolding of the keywords are in here. These are n-gram phrases more than they are entities, so just be aware of that. That's not a big deal. I think it's a positive for the tool. And when you push these over to your website, all that stuff stays. The one big difference, if you notice here, is there's no real like conclusion, so you don't get a in conclusion kind of thing. And it is built almost if the in the style of Corey's articles, for lack of a better description. I mean, you know how much I'm a fan of Corey, but his articles, when he's teaching in his course, say use these question formats: question in your heading, answer the question directly, and then provide supporting information. Oops. And then provide supporting information in the second and third paragraphs. That was one of the things that I said was good about Corey's course, and these guys over here at ContentSprout have seemed to have implemented that, which is totally fine, I think. So we'll see how it ranks right out of the box. I did have to do some editing with Grammarly in doing this. This is the second time that I've done that, so I'm not entirely sure if it saves. Um, but it's not like Search Atlas where Grammarly they had to specifically fix their editor. Hopefully these guys use Grammarly, and so in doing so, it'll actually save everything. Yeah, there you go. I probably just didn't push that save button when I saved it, did it before. Plus, I like going through and reading these, and also notice that there's no citations of any like scholarly, I would say, level external resources. So, especially in health, you're gonna need to go do that. But I've seen some mentions that they have it built in to reference some of that stuff. And it's weird to me that it didn't trigger for this particular keyword. So I think that um yeah, Dan sidetracked me in Discord just to make sure that I'm paying attention to him. I think so. What I think has to happen is maybe a little bit more work on the resources stuff. I'm not too greedy with it though, because if you let's say what is heroin addiction and you want to cite some external resources, you can probably go in here, you click this GPT thing and start having a conversation with it, and you can rewrite these individual sentences or these paragraphs using the GPT thing. I have not done it yet to see what it does to my credits, considering that it costs 11 credits to write it, and that's the outline that was required. It costs credits to do that, and then the credits to write the article. And I'm betting that every time you mess with this, it's going to cost you some credits. So I would be judicious in the use of that, uh, or probably just take it out of the tool. But that said, I haven't personally done it, so I don't know how many credits are in there, but you can do that. You can also kind of go through and put some of these things into a what's gonna call it into Google Scholar and try to find some sources too. To me, I think AI would be a lot better, and there'd be some less pushback from publishers if they cited stuff better. But it is a large language model. It is generative AI, so it's getting and putting this information together based off of word contents, not necessarily understanding about in this case. Um, in this case, doesn't understand heroin addiction. It just knows that in regards to heroin addiction, as topic we've given is this prompts and these words come together with it. So I accept that is in what it is. All right. So let's see. Let's go and do another outline. What do I want to do on it? Hmm. Let's go. Geez. Google Analytics. Let's do Google Analytics. analytics. And then this format that I'm doing it is something that they said you had to do it. So you put your keyword in and then you kind of do the supporting. You're essentially making a mini outline. Google Analytics installation. Um, Data available and Looker integration. I think it's Looker Studio. That'll give us a better chance of doing it. And then he said to do this, you're essentially just putting it in there again. And the default, I'm going to go business casual, point of view, second person, intent. He said the recommendation is to leave these at default, but I'm checking it out. I'll leave that at default. I'll leave that at default. Leave that at default and leave that at the default. I'm going to change this. Let's do ninth grade. And here you're going to see how long this whole process takes. So we're going to do the outline first. 10:17 right now. Press next. I'm going to leave it there. I don't need this because I have table contents built in and I don't care about that. And you don't have to fill this out. In 10 to 30, 20 to 30 seconds. We shall see. 10:17, 2:28 on the credits count. So we'll let that go. While we're there, let's see. Okay, so Dale made a point is in the particular topic, signs, symptoms, and treatment. Those actually can be three individual articles. Oftentimes, in our niche, we would put them into three different articles. However, you can combine them and rank for all of that, especially if you're going to do a generalist article. So you just do heroin addiction. Here's signs, here's symptoms, and here's the treatment. And you just kind of make a, I don't know, I wouldn't say a glossary page, but it is a brief um, look at all three concisely. And then if you want to, you can actually build a silo and go heroin addiction, signs of heroin addiction, symptoms of heroin addiction, treatment of heroin addiction, and silo out those pages and get really detailed in regards to those as well. It depends though how you're working. If you are running, 25, 30, or 700 rehab sites at some point, you can't go and use that same process over and over again because what's going to happen is only one or two are going to rank and you're going to get your clients all excited about ranking for heroin addiction. And when in fact it doesn't work. So you have to be creative in those regards. So I like putting these together and then what I do is I localify them. So the statistics, et cetera, you find the statistics for the location or the city you're in, and then try to get more of the regional traffic versus worrying about ranking for heroin addiction. That you don't have to compete with people like rehabs.com or addictions or the American Addiction Treatment Center, those clowns with big ass wallets and fighting a backlink game. So it's you give up a little bit to gain a little bit is kind of how that goes. All right, you see the article's done 228. What did I have? 229 when we started. So one credit for the outline. Not bad. And all you do is mash right article, and here's the outline. You can look at it in list view or text view. Andrew recommends looking at it in text view just because it works better. Let's see how to install on the different types of stores. That's awesome. Those are three good, useful ones. What is Google available in Google demonstrations, bounce rate, conversions, how to integrate with Looker Studio. I mean, to me, this looks all fine and dandy. I put this on. What this does is and correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, in the comments, but it'll write the article And then it'll use these 3 credits to go back over the article and go, oh, that doesn't make any sense, and fix things essentially, make it better, refine it a whole lot more. And I recommend turning this on. For the heroin article, I didn't, and I actually had to go in and add and shorten the paragraphs specifically. I'm not a on the web reading as much content as I do. I don't like reading big blocks of text. And what I got when I didn't check that in my heroin article was big blocks of text. So I recommend you get rid of that or turn it on. And then you click generate article. I'm happy with the outline. He did say that you can edit in that text version, or you in the list version, you can drop and drag the headings. And seven credits this time. What did I start with? 240, 229? I think I did. Minus 11, 229. 1 credit for the outline. And so 8 credits total so far. And then I think it does the 3 credits for the rewrite when it gets to that process, the rewrite section. So we'll let this go and come back. It shouldn't take that long. Where the hell are you guys? Yay, here you are. All right. Let's see. While that's doing, we'll hit some more questions. SEO potent. I sell cars online. How do I the internal competition between used cars and used cars? Well, Ted answered that question for you on SEO this Fight Club. But the problem is that people do not Google new, they only type BMW or used BMW. So when they only type BMW, the brand is going to win. You as a seller, I did used car SEO, and I absolutely hated it. One of the things I ran into is some of the brands are stupid protective of their name. Toyota, for example, like they have their brand on lock. Like, so you have to be real careful when you're using those. And then, like you noticed, it's harder to do. You want to search for the brand or used. So I would rank our dealers for their dealer name, their brand name, and then we'd use other means to pimp the cars themselves. Auto traders, those kind of things. You want to get into those directories for the used cars because those directories have a lot more brand power than you and a lot more brand recognition. So they're going to generate or get more clicks from the search results than you are. So it's essentially parasite SEO. So have the page, have the website on, and as that business builds brand recognition and etc., then you're going to get some more CTR and stuff when you're ranking for 1973 BMW, whatever, versus used BMW. I mean, you're going to be fighting some of the more deeper pocketed um, dealerships, and you'll be fighting a lot of those directories, essentially auto traders, etc. So you have to be way more creative in auto SEO, auto digital marketing in general to pull it off. So I'm not trying to discourage you, just being realistic. When building internal links, does it make a difference if the internal links are hidden behind a read more link tab? Everything is fine. Nope, it does not. You can do that. Totally fine. When building links to my Google map, should I build my link? What page should I build my links to? I would get Brock Misner's course, and he's got some modified URLs and he answers that question for you. I could tell you the URLs, but then I would be giving out his stuff, and you guys know I'll talk shit about a product, I'll show off a product, but I'm not going to teach you their stuff. You gotta pay for it. So if you want to, they also have a webinar coming up. If you just look up Brock Misner, and you can hit him up and ask him that question of which links to build to. Mike Merlino, he's got a link to that he does. So here's some follow-up from Andrew, which is timely. Professional mode is a custom GPT analyzer that essentially improves things for you. Yeah, so he said it all like super smart and stuff, and I just said, "Hey, it looks at your stuff and says, hey, this is crap," and it rewrites it. In short, it'll structure things more, add tables, remove relations, add details, etc. Awesome, which is perfect. That's what we want, right? Um, What did I forget? Oh, Sprout. How would you optimize a product page to rank? What elements would you make sure you always have? What is the title, the script title, tag, obviously, for the product? Have it a product name that people are going to actually look for, sunset yellow, sunset, some stupid colors slash t-shirt. People aren't going to go for those, but maybe a yellow t-shirt, orange t-shirt, red t-shirt, cotton t-shirt. Be specific in regards to what people are going to search for. Chiefs jersey versus a 49ers jersey, not, Chiefs Nation jersey, that kind of stuff. So title H1, obviously good, unique description. Don't be copying the one that's in Amazon. Don't copy the one that's off the product owner's website. That's one of the things that I noticed is, will get you, especially if you're doing Amazon review kind of stuff. Um, if you have your own products, you have obviously a unique product, do the unique characteristics, et cetera, in regards to that, and then interlinking with like products, et cetera. You don't have to really think too hard about product pages unless your product is really well known. The product page itself is not going to generate a whole bunch of traffic. It's probably the category that's related to that product would. So think about it that way. Gemini Advanced Google AI to create articles. So Bard was running the Gemini model way before they rebranded to Gemini. But yeah, I've played with it. It's it's like other tools. It has its advantages and disadvantages. I wouldn't currently put together an article with it. I just don't like how I gotta get really stupid with the prompting. And I say stupid is exacting, etc. And then you have to play around with it a whole bunch more, etc. I've compared Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT, just giving it like an outline, just like what ContentSprout made this for us, and giving that to all three of those and seeing which one comes out with the better article. And Claude and ChatGPT are probably the two closest together. And Gemini is more, I mean, Gemini, it's not smart enough to get, here's my outline, write an article about it. It won't do it. You have to get in there and get very prompt engineering-ish to it, if that's even a description to knock that out. Speaking of ContentSprout, let's check on it. Still ready. Huh, there we go. So the article is rewritten, and you see the right out of the bat, the paragraphs are shorter, which I like. I um what is Google? I have to read this, but the initial first impression is cool. I like shorter paragraphs, but when I check the box, I expect a little bit more. That said, it's answering the question. What is Google Analytics? Google Analytics is blah 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 blah. Answers the question in the first sentence, and then does all the supplemental content, for lack of a better description, in the following sentences. So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. This is actually pretty cool. This would make a good infographic. Um, these are simplistic, but I don't expect it to understand exactly how to install it. If I wanted to expand upon this, I would probably get some screenshots and of going through that step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would take a little bit more research on the writer's part. But this is a good base for sure. What data is available? Um, I like the table response better than the paragraph. But just because you're just listing out the data, it's better than going and going user demographics and then user demographics are and blah 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 blah. So they did a really good job of that. And then what is Looker Studio? Unique features, insights gained uniquely through, how to integrate. And then I would have to, in here, I would have to go through and do the images and create the step-by-step guide, which is totally fine. In regards to that, I would, this isn't AI, a ding on it, but I would actually put steps in here, how to integrate. So step 1, linking, accessing Looker Studio, adding the Google Analytics and source, step 1, 2, step 3, step 4. Just so you can have those steps in there, or like specifically written out, step 1, 2, 3, 4. And then maybe theoretically you could possibly get a featured snippet. Again, I'm not a fan of featured snippets, but if the opportunity is there, why not try it? And it'll show step 1, 2, 3, for example, in for someone who's looking to link that together, and then you can use that to draw some traffic to your page in theory. You could also create like a little mini infographic of those, here's the steps, and then just make a little checklist. Definitely going to need to do some images to actually put it together. So would I, oh, the other thing in here is this topical topics thing, and you generate a topics map. Andrew said that they're redoing this and making it better. So have not tried it to this point. And because I don't want to waste credits on something that he says is going to be better. Right. So I'll leave that alone. Plus, I don't need it right now. I do have another side project that I'm getting ready to kick off where I will generate topic maps. And what I want to do, whether Andrew says the new version is out or not, I'm going to compare this one directly with what Search Atlas does. The screenshots and the examples that I've seen from Andrew on what they do, this one is better, in my opinion, for one reason, and then the Search Atlas one is better for another reason. But I don't want to point those out just yet until I get just give this some more time to see how that is. I have plenty to do in regards to testing how well the content ranks. I've already tested the direct sending to my website. That works fine. I already showed you the issues that I had with that. Not really all that butthurt about it, as a matter of fact. So just push send category. I don't want to publish it, send the WordPress. And I know it's already there. It's there. It's that fast. It is there. So that's good. The only thing I have left to test is the topics and just see how that works out. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Hopefully that gives you a good walkthrough. I'll put my affiliate link in the description. If you don't want to give me some money, it's good. Then just go to ContentSprout and sign up. Again, I tried the 197. I probably 11 credits per article. You're going to get 21 articles out of that. So consider that if it's good or bad for you. As I said in the last video, in regards to the costs, you're paying for their prompts. You're paying for all the work that they put together to get the prompts to output that content properly, the way that it should be. And so 11 credits per article is not that bad considering how good the articles are. What is missing, in my opinion, and this is just a baby product, it's not like full on out there yet in regards to, having a whole bunch of people using it, etc. But what is missing is what Search Atlas has, and that's the automatic image generation, as well. Downside I see of that is if it costs 11 credits to make an article and then I get image for every H2, and let's say there's 6 H2s in there, is that going to cost me 6 credits to do it? Where I can just use my own Midjourney account or whatever and make those. So it's two, bushel in one hand and bushel in the other in regards to how that would work. But the Search Atlas people have the image generation stuff down pretty good, in regards to being associated well with the headings. And if you do it yourself, I do, that it's a little bit harder to get a good heading supporting image, like I would want to. So I mean, that is what it is. Let's see. Uh, let's see. By the way, hit rewrite again while digging into the article. Rewrite again while digging into the article. That's from Andrew. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Let me go here. I don't know if I want to waste my credits. I'm gonna do it. Rewrite article. Bam. Rewrite article. Research PhD researchers for. Oh, let me show you what I'm seeing. So I pushed a rewrite article button over here. PhD researchers for Google and Princeton recommend multiple iterations to get the rest. If you want to maximize your article, you rewrite and the article will go through another round of analysis and improvement. When you rewrite, the article is 1 credits. You will see both articles side by side and you can choose the version you like best. The articles be written, it takes 3 minutes, and this is to make SEO up. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So 1 other credit, so 12 credits per article. If you use that rewrite function, if I read that correctly, when it's done, I'll see both versions in here. And then I can say, oh, I like this answer better than that answer, et cetera, et cetera. That would be good for sections like this where I may not want to do the imaging for all those steps. In this kind of post, if I want to be successful and get users, I'm going to have to do the imaging or make a video to support all those steps, which is totally fine. Or find another video associated that someone else did. That's doable as well. But we'll go back and yeah, that's doing it. I'll answer some more questions and they'll come check it out later. Let's see, Jim. Do you have time to give a list of your go-to writing tools for each purpose, bulk content, local pages, etc.? Go-to writing tools. I, I, if you guys watched, I check different things and I use different tools. Which one's working best for me, etc. For one client, Search Atlas has proven to be really good. I'm not ranking exceptionally for a whole bunch of different things that the pages or that tool is generating, but they are creating good silo articles and it's boosting the link juice up in the topical relevance, air quote, for the website just fine. For Sales pages now. InLinks has a feature where it creates sales pages, or you can give it a sales page style indication that that's what you want. I'll go over that next week. And that's proving to be outputting really decent articles as well. Finally, I'll be able to use all my InLinks credits. I haven't been using them very much, so um, so that's cool. And the but if I take content out of search engine or search atlas, let's say, and then put it into phrase and neuron writer or in links, the scores are generally need some additions. And whereas if I take it out of in links say I got 100, search atlas says I got like 50. So you can tell that the analysis of these tools are totally different. Um, and so just kind of figuring that out. Oh, there we go. Oh, let me see here. Andrew said, if once I hit the button, I need to hit this button again. And then when I did that, I got this pop-up. And now I can compare the um, two paragraphs and say which one I want to keep. And they read really close. Oh, there's the whole new article. And there's the old article. It doesn't look like there's all that much change, right? If you look at the line stuff, I'm scanning it over, but it doesn't look like it's changed a lot. Um, what would be interesting is if I copied one, copy the previous article and copy the old one and see like how it, how much changes that Grammarly said I had to make. That'd be interesting. Because if you look, like the paragraph size is essentially the same. So there's not a lot of word addition or subtraction. Maybe there's in this particular topic, I mean, there's not a lot of changes in regards to tone, positioning. It is a technical article, so I don't expect it to be all that much different. Uh, those look pretty much the same. This one probably added a sentence, or not a sentence, a couple words somewhere. Those are all pretty much the same. Um, yeah, those look exactly the same. Again, this could be the topic, so I'm not gonna bash this, right? Like, oh, what a waste. But if it's a technical topic, this is missing a word. This version is shorter than, well, one word longer than that one, just by the spacing, comparing those two. Maybe in the technical, because it's a technical article, really. Um, I mean, there's only so many different ways you can write and say how to install it in Looker, right? For example, here's a difference. Case studies, integrated how to case studies. That's a nice touch right there. That might be worth it. Worth it. That one little section right there is worth the credit. Um, and then these are all the same. Yep. So I'm going to apply the new article because I like that case study section. New article, apply. And now my new article in theory should be here, right? Let me see. There's the case studies. So that's pretty interesting. Um, and then what I would do, oh, I wonder if can I overwrite it? Send to WordPress. And I'm going to stop share. Let me go log in and see if it overwrote my other one or gave me another one. Give me a second article. Logging in. Posts. It gave me a second article. It didn't overwrite the other one. Search Atlas would overwrite it. It remembers the URL that it posted it at, and it overwrites the content. So if you make changes like we did there in that specific instance, it would overwrite it. In this case, I have two drafts now, so I'm going to delete the first draft. So again, it's a new product, new learning, new thing. So um, yeah. So overwrite function, Andrew. That would be better than creating a new article. There you go. Okay. Let's finish off the show hitting the questions from the form. If you are watching the recording, you can use the form and have them there for next week in case you not catch up live. What do you think of is part schema? Can you please explain what it is and if it's even worth doing? I've done this before. I just did a video with Terry Samuels and Ian from Agency Assassin where I explained it is part of. You have to know how to read schema.org. If you want to know how to do it, you can either A, figure it out, or B, take my course. You can get the course at whatranks.com or a part of your SIA membership. But the short version answer to this question is part of schema is very good to use. This web page is part of this website that was published by this organization as an example of how you can use it, and you should be using it, especially if you once you understand how to use schema.org and hierarchies. So hopefully I answered that question. Yes, you should be using it. Can I explain how to do it again? No, I don't have time to do that. Let's see. But I will. There is that video again. I just did it. Did the explanation in um, Ian's video, and I'll write down to do another part of that. If you don't have access to my course or SEO Intel and just kind of the high level, the value of hierarchy and schema. Also, SEO University.org is Terry Samuels' website. Let me make sure I get that right. SEO University.org. Nope, that ain't it. .com. .com. SEO. No, come on. I know it's SEO University. I don't have the email. There, .net. There you go. So we're doing a class, starts on February 19th, Terry and I together. Um, Terry will bring his flavor of schema and why he does it that way, or he does it his way. I'll bring mine. And well, two minds are better than one. You can go through and figure out how to do it. It'll be 3 weeks of class and then 1 week of Q&A. And you'll come out of there with much better understanding of schema, etc. So this is the first course Terry and I have ever done together, and he wasn't going to do it by himself, and he graciously invited me. So I think it's pretty cool. So SEOuniversity.net. Have you tried Phrase 2.0? I love Phrase 2.0, the new writing thingy inside of there. I had it spit out an article. I was like, dude, it's dope. It's really, really cool. So I like it. Uh, and I'm gonna definitely be using it more. I want to play with around with it some more. I haven't put any of the content on the websites, but again, I've got some a set of sites that need content really bad. So I'm looking forward to messing with that phrase way more, getting some more out of it. What WordPress plugin can you use to enable plugins? What are the two that you recommend? SEO Press Pro has a plugin schema, and you can actually turn it on to display on your website if you want those as well. That's what I use. Doing breadcrumbs manually is for the birds, so that's the only plugin schema that I use. But SEO Press Pro will do it for you. That's my recommendation. Any good course for GSA for building links to Money Site? Money Site has 300,000 pages. I don't know of anyone who's got a recent course in regards to GSA link building. 300,000, 30,000 pages. I mean, yeah, you're kind of stuck in that regards. I think you would probably have to find some pages that you wouldn't necessarily care about and just test and figure out your ink text ratios, etc. Um, Going full on with GSA without understanding anchor text and site selection and filtering and stuff could be pretty dangerous for you. And I wouldn't recommend getting someone off Fiverr to do it either. So yeah, that's something where if you're gonna have to learn how to use that tool, and it's just gonna take you some time. There's a lot of older courses out there. They still apply in regards to the functionality of the software. But I don't know of any that are out there right now that are going, hey, here's this project and here's how we set it up and here's how we rank for it. I don't know anyone doing that right now. Sorry. Let's see. No more questions in the forum. No more questions in the YouTube chat. So I think we're done for this week. So again, check out ContentSprout if you are looking for, one more tool to add to the arsenal. Final choice decision for me is, will I keep ContentSprout and Search Atlas? Honestly, at 197 in the quality of the content, it is pretty on par with Search Atlas right now. And it's Search Atlas, even when I spend more of my credits, I think it's cheaper than ContentSprout. That said, I have high hopes for this because Andrew said it's going to start referencing sources, like in the case of the Google Analytics one, right? It'll reference a cited function, etc. If I'm explaining that right, which would be really cool if they could pull that off. I'm going to use my 197 credits here. I'm going to build this out. I think I'll use this one on another project that I haven't gotten Search Atlas connected to and just see how we go. I know with the image stuff, that's probably going to be a big problem for me. Well, I won't say a big problem. You have to go figure out images. And it would be cooler if the tool did it, make my life a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, I'm okay with it. The plagiarism checker, the AI checker, I mean, they say that they don't work. It's not hurting my feelings at all because I wouldn't use them anyway. um, and then the topical maps, I'm looking forward to seeing how those come out. But we'll see at the end of it how many articles I end up with this. That cost me at 11, I get 21 articles. I think I'm still at 21 articles. As long as I don't use that rewrite function over and over again, that won't change. But 21 articles for $197. Isn't that bad. Let me see. 197 divided by 21 is $9 an article. That's pretty good. For the, considering I was paying $450 for researched human written article on some of the same topics, $9 an article being fairly good isn't that bad. And then, especially in the like health and legal and those kind of niches where you got to have again an editor go through and make sure that they're right and then add external citations, etc. I mean, you're looking at 15 to $20 an article now. You're putting all that work and effort into it. Then the images, now you're on probably 20, 25. An article still better than 450. So this will be a good tool to add to the tool shed. I think, depending on the publishing pace that we decide to go with our clients, it's probably going to be 4 articles a month. That's so we can write the article, publish it on Monday, and promote it all week, and then rinse and repeat once a month. So that's 4 articles. At this plan, 4 articles, 21 divided by 4, I can use this plan to support 5 clients. And then you'll have to upgrade more or buy credits. So each additional credit is 88 cents, 88 cents a credit. If I'm reading that right for my plan. So 11 times 4. Is that it? Yeah. 11 times 4 times 88 cents. Oops. 44 times, oh, come on. 44 times 0.88. 38. $38, right? Did I do the math right? $38 a month per client. So that's not too bad. And if you charge $150, $200 inside of your roll up of your whole thing, $38 here is not too bad of an expense in the content creation piece. And I fully expect this to get even better and better and better. So looking forward to seeing what Andrew and the team does with this thing. Okay. One last check for questions. Nothing in the YouTube. So with that, thank you all for coming. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Remember, if you are watching the recording, there is a form inside of the YouTube description. Click on that. You can ask your questions there. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you all around the interwebs.